All right, let's talk about Greven Il-Vec. I continue to work my way down the requests list as I'm waiting for Ether Spark previews. So Greven was a human from Wrath, which was this artificial plane created by the original Phyrexia out of a material called flowstone. The flowstone had the ability to mimic the shape of real places and overlay on top of them to be able to more easily transport like vast armies across distances. That was the Phyrexians' whole plan to invade Dominaria, was to basically make Wrath big enough that they can overlay all their armies onto it at once rather than through small little portals. But in so doing, over the years, they captured a number of humanoid peoples. Some merfolk, some humans, some core. You can tell which side each of these individual people were on because they would either have a NEN dash in front of their name. So the N core are core who are on like the freedom fighter side, while the traitors, the ones who served the Phyrexians, got the Ill moniker, and Greven is one of them, Greven Il-Vec. He's from a humanoid people called the Vec. Greven was the captain of the flagship of the Wrathy skyship fleet, the Predator. And when the Weatherlight crew plane shifts to Wrath, they are almost immediately set upon by the Predator. Greven's crew almost immediately gets the upper hand on them. Gerard is flung overboard. Greven proves himself even able to fight a Minotaur in hand-to-hand combat. But then his scheming second-in-command fires on the ship while Greven is still over there. Vati is from the Doll people. And to be clear, I haven't read this novel in a long time. This is just my vague recollection of what happens. But anyway, Greven goes back to his ship and isn't really relevant for much of the Weatherlight saga until the end of Planeshift. One thing to note about Greven is that he was actually controlled by the Evancard, the leader of Wrath, Volrath. He had a spinal implant that you've probably seen if you look at the Tempest block. There's several images of it, that he could be like directly mind controlled. So he did not really have much of a choice in the kinds of things he was doing, although he was more than happy to take out his rage on people like the Weatherlight crew. As a side note, Vati gets thrown overboard and might have the shortest legendary creature to death time frame ratio in Magic history. At the very least, he was the very first character to be created and killed off in the same set. Like, as an active part of the story, not because it took place forever ago. And I'm specifying legends here, but that's besides the point. In any case, during the Phyrexian invasion, the Weatherlight gets a rematch with the Predator. They get the upper hand. Greven is killed, and the Predator is sent crashing down into the stronghold, which is now controlled by Krovax. And yes, Krovax is also on my list. I will get to him eventually. And that's the end of Greven. He sort of served as a minor bad from Phyrexia compared to everything else. He wasn't all that big a deal. And part of Planeshift's story is showing how much the Weatherlight crew has grown by how handily they dispatch the Predator on their rematch. Anyway, I'm still taking requests, although I got a long list. Go ahead and let me know if you want me to cover anything.